Hi, I'm Mikella reporting for Kids First, and today I'm here with Lisa Lewis, who is the founder and executive producer of Omnium Bold New Circus, the first fully inclusive circus, bringing together a completely diverse cast filled with uniquely multi-abled performers and talent from around the globe. Omnium performs in New York City at the New Victory Theater beginning April 12th through April 28th, 2024. Welcome to Kids First, Miss Lewis.
Hi.
Hi. So your history working with the circus is quite extensive. What initially got you interested in the circus industry and pursuing what you studied in college?
So I've always loved the circus. As a child, I always loved the circus. I went to college and I thought I was going to go pre-med, but I couldn't do organic chemistry, so that didn't work out very well. And I was studying stage management, and one of my roommates said to me, just trying to teach me to juggle, and I was failing miserably. And so she said, why don't you go, look, there's an audition for Ringling Bros and Barnum Bailey Clown College. Why don't you give it a shot? So they were down at the Boston Garden. I was in school in Boston. I went down and I just fell in love. I said, this is where I belong. And I did go to Clown College, and I have altered the path of my career. And now we're coming to the New Victory for 3 weeks, April 12th through 28th.
Wow, that's a crazy story. So the circus is a huge production. What are some key steps that go into creating a show like this?
There are a lot. The military used to take notes from Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey because of the level of logistics that goes into producing a circus. I would say the key steps are, first, make sure you have an incredible group of performers. And we have an artistic director, whose name is Noe Espana, who makes sure that we have incredibly wonderful, talented performers. He also writes the script for us and puts together all the music and everything else, and he's absolutely brilliant. The next important step is to make sure you have a way of sharing that with audiences, because otherwise it's called a rehearsal.
So you mentioned the inclusivity. Can you tell us about how that concept came to be?
So that started many years ago when I was first working with Ringling Brothers, and I was at Clown College, and I was performing to a group of people, of audience members, in some huge arena. I want to say Madison Square Garden, but I'm not at all sure that was it. I made that up in my head. So it might not have been that. It was probably in Sarasota. Anyway, it was a huge group. And in the middle of that group was a row of teenagers. And they were sitting with their arms folded. And they were very grumpy and surly. And their energy was infecting the entire area. And the person I was working with whom I'm still friends, walked up to them and immediately just started telling them jokes in sign language. I didn't know they were deaf, but he did. And their entire demeanor changed. And the demeanor of the entire audience changed. And I realized at that moment the incredible power of inclusion. If we can all laugh together, the whole energy changed. So I started learning sign language, moved my career forward. I performed in hospitals, I performed in theaters, I've performed in schools, I performed all over the world. And then I came to a wonderful opportunity to work with something called Circus of the Senses, which was a 1-day-a-year show where they brought in students who were blind and students who were deaf and students who were neurodivergent and created all of the adaptations for that. It was started in 1987, I'm wrong, in 1987 at the Big Apple Circus. And I volunteered for it, eventually took it over, eventually ran it. And to see the family's joy, the people's joy at being able to appreciate the circus, and later we expanded it to families, and we did more and more, and, we expanded the offerings, and to realize how much these people, like every people, really want to just have a good time at the circus. If you have one kid who's neurodivergent, one kid's got this, one kid's got that, everybody's got different schedules. It's really hard to get everybody together. And if you can provide the access for them that they need to be able to just enjoy the show, it makes a huge difference for a family.
Well, that's like a really wonderful story. Thank you for sharing. So, what would you say are your biggest challenges with putting the circus together?
Making sure that we have enough venues together so that I can keep my company together and working. Because we want to be everywhere, but there are logistics and realities involved. So making sure that everywhere in the world, that everywhere we can play, that they say, yes, come on in. Making sure enough people come to see the show, that everybody can have a great time.
For sure, for sure. So, how long did it take you to create the show that we'll be seeing in New York?
So I founded Omnium Circus in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic.
Sure.
And we started by creating a virtual show because obviously it was a pandemic. So I gathered together a team and we created a show that we put online with a brand new innovative platform so that you can pick. You can still see it. It's on Eventbrite now if anybody wants to see it. It's called the Celebration of Diversity. And when you go there, you can choose one of 4 channels to watch it. And one has audio description for the blind. One is in Spanish. One is in play language format. One has captions and American Sign Language. So you can choose your access so that everybody can share that. So that was in 2020. And we've had 3 or 4 tours since then. And with each one, we have a core group of people. And then we bring in other artists to share with us, guest artists.
Wow. Okay. You kind of mentioned this earlier, but what is the casting process like?
People send us videos, which is great. There's a note on our website if you feel like you want to join the show, if you feel like you have an act that's appropriate. People send us videos, and it's like a game of Tetris. Here are very talented people. Well, this person is very talented in this skill, and that skill balances with that skill. But we need to balance not only the skills, the energy, the music, making sure that we are inclusive, making sure that we are giving opportunities to people who might not have had them otherwise, who might not be hired by a mainstream circus, but have that level of quality. The quality is never sacrificed.
That's really interesting. So, my final question for you is, what are your future plans and hopes for the Omnium Circus?
My hope for us is that we will continue to grow. We're built on a tripod of education, entertainment, and employment, not in that order. My hope is that we will continue to build our tours. We will continue to be able to serve the country and to share this just beautiful, fun circus experience where you look on stage and everybody can identify with someone, and that we can all just really enjoy that together, and that it will ripple out. So when you go back to work or school, you say, hey, I saw somebody that looked like you. Maybe you're more than I thought. Or, wow, that person looked like me. Maybe I can be my best self. So that's my hope. And I hope that we grow so much that we can eventually create a pipeline for people who want to learn circus, but don't necessarily fit into a standard program. I got big dreams.
Well, that's a really beautiful story. Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Miss Lewis. Omnium, a Bold New Circus, will be performing in New York City at the New Victory Theater beginning April 12th through April 28th, 2024, and select cities throughout the year. Make sure to visit omniumcircus.org for a complete schedule. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mikella reporting here for Kids First. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss another one of our videos. Bye!